morning, everyone, and welcome to Spotlight, brought to you by the Georgetown NAACP branch number 5520. And I'm the host, the technical host this morning. And of course, I have my usual host with me and some special guests. We're going to talk COVID. We're going to talk some things going on with the Georgetown School District, just to update everyone and what's going on in the community. This is going to be a quick, informative show today. There's a lot going on as usual in Georgetown. I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and our apologies for starting late. We wanted to make sure that we got everybody in the studio. So without ado, I'm going to bring my co-host and special guests in right after our opening. We'll see you in a moment.
Heavenly Father, we ask you to put a hand of protection.
Well, I'm back, folks, and earlier I put up the wrong overlay and it said 6 p.m. on Thursdays. We no longer do that. We do this on Saturdays at 11 a.m. And today we didn't do that either. We started at 11:20 a.m. Oh my gosh, y'all, we need to get our watches synced. But let's go ahead and move on with our special guest, my co-host today, Miss Jackie. How are you doing, Jackie? Good morning.
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am. I'm really doing really good. Got some stuff going on with the family this weekend, but
okay.
A joyous occasion celebrating the wedding of my cousin. So we're gonna, so all
very good.
Yeah. So we got some special guests today. Let's go ahead and get them in, and that's Miss Joan Doré. Hey, Joan, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Joan.
Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Miss Marilyn.
Good morning. And I'm going to go ahead and bring Shaniqua on. Shaniqua, thank you for joining us today. You're muted, Shaniqua. There you go.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. So, y'all, we're going to go ahead and hop to it. I want to encourage everyone, drop your questions and comments in the comment section. And we'll try to do our best to give you the answers. And if we don't know, we will find out and bring it back next week. All right. But we got Joan here, who is our Political Action Committee Chair of the NAACP, and she wants to update. And also our COVID-19 task force. You work with our partners and making it happen when we need to get folks to those vaccination appointments and everything. So Joan's the one who's really making this happen, and she's got some updates for us. Joan, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. Some powerful women here. I love it. I just want to say what we're doing next week. The Georgetown County Schools are doing in-person registration for school on Tuesday morning and Wednesday afternoon. They are allowing the NAACP and our collaborative partners to come in to the high schools, Georgetown, Waccamaw, Carvers Bay, and Andrews, and do both voter registration and COVID information. What we're trying to do is get the high school kids that will be 18 by November of 2022 election. For state election, we have an election for governor, for one of our national senators, and some other elections in November of 2022. So if kids are 16 now even, and will be 18 by November of 2022, we can register them. And we'd like to do that. So we're going to be outside of the main office in each of the high schools. And we're going to be doing that. Also, we're going to be giving out information on COVID vaccinations. As most of you know, if you're under 18, 12 to 18, you have to get the Pfizer vaccination. It's the only one that's recommended and authorized for kids that are under 18. So we're giving information about where parents can take their kids for the Pfizer vaccine. One of the places is Tidelands, where you can walk in certain days. We have some pharmacies. We have some places in the Neck, and we have, unfortunately, in Andrews, we have a place in Hemingway, CVS in Hemingway, and otherwise they have to come to Georgetown. But we're working on trying to get more Pfizer in the Andrews area. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. And we're trying hard to get more people vaccinated because we're not doing a great job. We only have 69% of our over 65 vaccinated and much lower in the younger group. So we're trying to get that up so this variant doesn't take over and make it so we have to shut down again, especially with school coming up. We want to get as many kids over 12 vaccinated as we can before they go back to school. So that's what we're doing next week, and we have a lot of people that are volunteering to help us. So if you're going to bring your kids, or if your kids are coming by themselves and they're over 12, please let us know. I believe if they're 16 or over, they don't need a parent's okay. But if they're 12 to 16, I believe that they have to have a parent's permission when they go to get their vaccination. But they certainly can bring home the information. We'll have pieces of paper there they can take home to their parents about where they can take them. So thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. Thank you, Joan. I do have a quick question, Joan.
Yes.
We have elections coming up in the city in November 2021. Can we register those who will turn 18 before November 2021 in the city of Georgetown?
Certainly. Well, what I said is if we do the registrations now, then they can also vote if they're in the city. I believe also Andrews is having a election for mayor. So any of these high schools, if we do it now, they'd be able to vote in the election if they're going to be 18 by November 3rd.
Yes, it's not.
But we want to register them now, even if they won't be 18 by this November, as long as they're going to be 18 by the beginning of November 2022, they can at least vote in that election. Yeah. And the voter registration office will hold it until that time that they turn 18 and then send them their card.
All right. Very good. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't leave the cities out since they're having an election, and make our young folks know that if you're 18 before this November 3rd, 2021 in the city of Georgetown and the town of Andrews, go ahead and get registered and you can vote this November if you turn 18 by November. Yeah. And those who are 16, 17 now, but will turn 18 before November 2022 can get registered now and get it done.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Very good. Good information, Joan. Thank you. Thank you. I know you said 5 minutes and you did good. You did really good. Anybody else got any questions for Joan? Because she's got to pop off also. But thank you, Joan, for that great information. Anybody else? All right. We're good. All right. Marvin, you're breaking up. I mean, yeah, you're frozen and breaking up. So, Joan, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
And this is a good way to segue into the COVID information from Joan, since she's going to be handing out information. We have Miss Shaniqua here with us, and she will be updating us with what's going on with COVID and the Delta variant, with some statistics, I believe, Shaniqua, kind of like what's going on in South Carolina, just giving us a good overview so our folks can be informed. Shaniqua, what's going on with COVID these days? What's it looking like in Georgetown?
It's continuing to rise, Marilyn, and it is at an alarming rate. You're seeing the younger population, also people that do not have comorbidities with their health, like no underlying issues. We're seeing those people come in and ending up in ICU because they are not vaccinated and they're having complications. My vice president of community health resources and Dr. Harmon will give more updates on that before the month is out. But I wanted to also put out there that, remember, you can come to Thailand's and you can get your vaccination as a walk-in. You can do that at the Georgetown Hospital on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays from 9 to 4. No appointment necessary. You can also have it at Waccamaw Park Medical West in Suite 204. That's the Merle's Inlet Hospital in Medical Park West, Suite 204, Monday through Thursday from 9 to 4. You can also receive your vaccine at Medical Health Market Common location up here in Myrtle Beach from 9 to 4, Tuesday through Friday. So the specific days for Georgetown, again, are Monday, Tuesday, Friday from 9 to 4, Merle's Inlet, the Medical Park West, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4. Medical Park at Market Commons is Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 4. Right now, if you're 12 and up, you can receive the Pfizer only. In order to receive Moderna or Johnson & Johnson, you have to be 18. So reminding folks here again, Pfizer is the only one that the minors can receive. You can go on our website, which is thailandshealth.org/vaccine. You can download the consent forms for anybody between the ages of 12 and 15. 16-year-old and up do not need a consent form. Consent forms are for 12 to 15 years old, and you can download those forms, fill it out on from our website. You can also review the fact sheet for Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. If you want to review the fact sheet before your vaccine, you can go on our website. You can get that information as well. Starting August the 2nd, all Thailand's health physicians, you will be able to make an appointment with your physician for you or your child and ask questions and receive your vaccine the same day in the physician's office. That had not been true, but starting August the 2nd, you're going to be able to make an appointment with your Thailand's health physician in order to receive that vaccine, which is huge because you can sit face to face with your physician, ask any questions pertaining to your health, and decide whether you really want to take the vaccine, and you can get it that same day if you decide that that's what you want to do. We're encouraging people to get vaccinated. That is the best way to keep us healthy. As of September the 7th, all Thailand's health employees that do not have a religious reason, a medical reason, or has had COVID will need to be vaccinated in order to stay employed with Thailand's health. That is very important because as healthcare employees, we want to protect ourselves, but we also want to protect the people that we serve. So that's a mandate for Thailand's health employees. I think that will show us how important this is in getting the vaccination to keep yourself and your family healthy. Also, the last thing is if you are uninsured, you do not qualify for Marketplace, you can come into 1101 High Market Street, which is the Thailand's Health Community Resource Building, and you can pick up a financial assistance application so that you can go to Thailand's Health Physicians if you are approved for that application. Okay? If that application is approved, because they do have guidelines, just like SNAP and Medicaid, there is a guideline that you have to fall between for your household, but you can pick up that application. As far as the COVID shots, you do not have to have insurance. You do not have to have an ID for Thailand. It makes it easier for us to register you if you have an ID, but you do not have to have an ID. You do not have to have insurance in order to receive the vaccination. What I'm talking about for the financial assistance program, this is to set you up with a primary care physician or a specialty physician that you can see regardless of what is wrong with you, and that you can have for the entire year if you qualify for the financial assistance program through Tidelands Health.
Up on the screen, I've been sharing the website, Shaniqua, and I'm focusing on the walk-in hours and the locations that you cited.
Thank you.
My question is, the vaccine is free and everything, but you don't have to sign up for a physician to get the vaccine. You could just go get the vaccine.
You can just go get the vaccine. The physician and you being able to make an appointment with the Thailand's Health physician is a added value for those people that still had questions and wanted to speak with their physician about their specific conditions before taking the vaccine.
Gotcha. All right. Very good. And which vaccine is this that you are doing at Thailand?
We have Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson.
Okay. All right. And I had another question too. And it went out on my mind just that quick. Jackie, you got a question while I think? Oh, we have one question is, does one have to be a resident of Georgetown? Will it be accessible for a visitor to get the vaccine?
Yes, a visitor can get the vaccine.
Very good. So let me ask you, so would you encourage them to get the Johnson & Johnson, which is one shot instead of the two shots, because they would have to come back?
So the effectiveness for the vaccines, Pfizer still remains the most effective. Moderna is the next effective, and Johnson & Johnson is the third effective one. Okay. So I will say personally, me and all of my family members have Pfizer because it is the most effective.
Regarding the ID, if someone is, you don't have to have an ID to get the shot, but you're encouraging people to show the ID because it helps you stay in touch with them. And I'm assuming that let's say they get the Moderna or Pfizer and that second shot comes into play, you want to make sure you're able to reach out to the right person and remind them they need to come in for the second shot.
Yes. So when they come in, it's not a requirement to have an ID, but we scan in the information and it just makes registration and processing faster. Once we collect their information with or without an ID, it goes into the registry and they're going to start receiving reminder calls from us and DHEC to say, hey, don't forget to get your second dose if you need a second dose. The actual ID just makes registration faster when they're registering you on site.
All right, very good. And folks, we want to remind you, get that second dose. It's so important because that really ups your immunity. It's very important that we take that second dose. It makes everything much more effective. Yeah, very good. Jackie, Marvin, any questions of Shaniqua? That's good information, Shaniqua, and thank you very much.
Yeah, it is.
What's the timeline? The timeline between vaccination?
Oh, between the first shot and the second shot?
Yes, the timeline remains the same. It's about 3 weeks between your first shot and your second shot, and you're not considered fully vaccinated until about 2 weeks after your second shot.
Okay.
All right, very good, Jack.
If you were to get the first shot in Georgetown, can you get the second shot in another state?
Right now, we can't speak for other states, but for Thailand, we are offering second shots now because we have the vaccine ready and available. When it first came out, we were not doing second shots because the vaccine was so scarce. And so if you as a facility was giving the first shot, you wanted to ensure you had a second dose for that person that took it. But for Thailand's health, we are now giving you a second dose if you're in need of that second dose because we have more vaccines on hand.
And that's great. That means so visitors can get the first one here and or vacationers and get the second one when they go back home.
Yes.
Okay.
The question that I have is in reference to the children and the kids getting vaccinated, with school starting back. What now that the vaccine is being offered to kids, what has been the success rate of getting kids vaccinated, excuse me, and the part two to that question is, have you all been seeing any pushback or resistance with children getting vaccinated?
So for us, what we've seen, Jackie, and I don't have any actual statistics on that, but we have found that if the family members are vaccinated, 9 times out of 10, their children are vaccinated if they're age appropriate. If you have other people out there that are saying, I'm not taking it, then they're most definitely not letting their children take it. And so we've been trying to explain to them that, if your child is between the ages of 12 and 15, we're asking that you step up and you get your child vaccinated. Because guess what? When you step into the school system, and my daughter will go to school in Horry County this year, and Horry County has already said that it's not mandating masks, right? I can grant you my child will go with the mask. She's 10 and they have not approved the vaccine for 10-year-olds yet. It's 12 and up. So she will go every day with a mask because also I don't know who else in her classroom has been vaccinated, or who hasn't been vaccinated, or within the school system, because they're not having to really share that information. Also, if you are checking a survey, how many of us are going to be truthful to say that our children haven't been exposed?
Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna step up and protect her at all, with everything in me. And they are actually working on some research now to vaccinate children from 6 months on up. And they're working on that research. I can tell you from my experience with research, nothing really lies dormant. They start to work on these things years before they are approved by any type of emergency use or anything. It's just that sometimes the funding will not allow them to go as quickly or as fast as they want to. But what happens when it becomes a pandemic? Everybody starts throwing money that way because now we need to cure something and we need to bring it in. So I can say that if they go ahead and deem that the 10-year-olds can have it, my child will be the first one in line because I am watching the Delta variant. And like I said, my administrative team will have more information on that. But just from a personal view and being a nurse, I'm watching it. And I am watching the effects of having being infected with the Delta variant versus having the vaccine and the outcomes or side effects from the vaccine. And I would prefer the the possible side effects from the vaccine any day. I mean, you're having this variant that is touching 20-year-olds, and like I said, bringing them from the street to the ED straight to ICU. That speaks volumes to me because most of your 20-year-olds at that time don't have any underlying conditions. They're probably some of the healthiest people walking around here.
All right. Very
Thank
good.
you for that. That's great information.
Very good information. Can you think of anything else, Jackie? I don't know why I can't hear you.
She's so thorough. She gives great information. I think it's important though what she's saying for people to really pay attention. She's saying that you have 20-year-olds coming in to the hospital and going straight from coming in to get checked out and having to go right into ICU. That is not good. And yeah. I think, for economic reasons, of course, rushing to get the country open and so forth and so on, has really put us in a very vulnerable position, because now you have all of these folks moving around and different things, and you have these variants coming, and so So I think as a society, we have to do better. I've even noticed, though, that a lot of the COVID protocol for flying is rapidly changing. And, and they're telling you that, I'm sure they're watching. And as a result of watching, they are stepping up different measures now that people are moving around. So that, that speaks volumes. That lets you know there's something out there that's going on that we all need to be aware of, and that we all need to, stay on top of. Yep.
That's right. That's right. Very good point. And thank you for bringing that up,
Marilyn,
Jack. Go ahead, Marv. Mm-hmm.
I'd like to remind everyone that Shaniqua gave some detailed information, and we definitely going to actually come back on, at will. So hopefully next weekend with Dr. Hyman and Monica Gray. But this is a critical time, and we will remind everyone that Dr. Hyman, he is the medical expert for Georgetown here and Thailand region, and it's critical that this audience be back on next weekend so they get more detail on what the effect of the environment and how it is impacting our communities right now, and getting children, everyone back to school, and these kids back into sports and stuff of that nature that caused them to have a shortfall in last year's school year. So, but we just want to remind people it's critical, and that age from 18 to 35 is the most deadliest age right now that's being impacted by this variant, because the older ones ran and got it. And Delta, this new Delta virus, it's like COVID on steroids.
That's true. What you just said, everything is correct, and it's really impacting the young folks. Shaniqua, I know that you're going to have to head out and everything, and we're going to wrap up talking about some stuff we need to talk about, any happenings in the community, and we're going to wrap up by encouraging people to go to Thailand's Health and do their walk-in appointments and the website. We'll keep that up, Shaniqua, so people can know that everything you shared with us this morning, they can go to the website.
Yes. Marilyn.
Yes.
This is my fur baby. I saw you with your fur baby, so I had to grab my fur baby.
Oh, that's a cutie pie. What's the name?
Say, hey. Say, my name is Fudge. Say, I'm Fudge. Say, so we have to schedule a play date.
Yeah, well, mine are cats. I don't know if they're gonna deal with Fudge, but my cat is Almond Joy, like the candy bar. So.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, one's pretty baby, one's Almond Joy, and one's pretty baby. So yeah, they rule the roost. So I don't know if they're gonna let Fudge. They don't do play dates. We'll see. Oh. We'll see. Yeah.
Marvin is somewhere rolling his eyes.
Yeah, he is. He had to leave because of that. Shanika, thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming in. As usual, we're going to encourage folks to tap into Tylen's Health, has that resource, and also St. James Health and Wellness, but Tylen's Health. Thank you, Shanika. We really appreciate you, and we know you got to go. So good to see you as always, and we'll be in touch, Shanika.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. And as Jackie said, we got fur babies with us today. Usually pretty babies outside. That's why he came up. He would call up on me to tell me it's time for me to go outside. So
right.
That's the girl, and she's the boss. So it's girl boss.
Girl bosses all around.
Yeah, all around. And Marvin can't come back on because that's his he can't come back on. Yeah. So Jackie, is there anything that we need to know? Anything happening?
Yeah. Well, I just want to remind people very quickly, please. We cannot say this enough. We cannot stress this enough. Please, stay on top of what is going on in the communities as it relates to things that are happening in city council, county council, votes that are taking place, projects that are coming up that are being approved, or
initiative.
Right.
People pay attention to what's going on. Go ahead.
Right. Mm-hmm. Initiatives that are being introduced to the community that nobody's aware of. We have really got to step up to the plate. We have got to do better. We have got to really become more engaged, because there are so many things going on behind the scenes that really, honestly, is just not working to the advantage or the best interests of the community. And our voices need to be heard. Please stay on top of the dates for city council meetings, county council meetings, and please show up. Send somebody, come, be there, be present, hear the arguments, see who's talking and see who is saying what, so you will know how this stuff that's coming down is going to affect our communities. Don't wait until you see it in the newspaper, because a lot of times by the time you see it in the newspaper, it's already done. It's already done, or it's so far down the track until it's hard to pull it back. Yeah. So we really need to stay on top of this stuff. We have in the city a 72 single family home development that is coming. But out of 72 single family homes, which these, I believe it's the lots, that are starting out at like $200,000 up. I said to somebody the other day, the community, the people that live in Georgetown, the community, the underrepresented, the underserved folks, outside of that, the career professionals, the RN, the firefighters, the policemen, everybody is wondering, when is it going to be their turn? Because surely this is not for the average working person in Georgetown. And we have got to do better in holding our elected officials accountable, so that we can start seeing the progress that's very much needed in our community take place. So I just wanted to stress that, to be mindful of what's going on and to come out. You do not have to be a politician. You don't have to be, you just need to be a resident of Georgetown. So, and that more than qualifies you to come. And even if you don't have anything to say, come and get the information so that you can understand it for yourself. Very important.
I do want to say this, Jackie. I'm glad you brought this up, and we're going to wrap it up with this. We got 4 minutes to 12, so it's good time. That this has nothing to do with white or black. Well, it does. It's racist and social economics.
Yep.
So it impacts white and black local residents, and the impact is negative because the county did a study that stated affordable housing is desperately needed. And
yes.
The first chance that the county council had to create affordable housing, it was voted down. Okay, so everybody that look like you ain't for you. Let me just put that there. Okay,
right.
Especially local residents, so you can understand what's going on. Everything since then, from the city and from the county, has been about tourists and retirees, not people who live in Georgetown locally. So when I say that it impacts white and black folks, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this is will negatively impact local folks because every move they've made is about bringing folks in. This housing that they approved for 72 units in Georgetown, I sent a text with the question to city council and the mayor and had never got a reply of why did you not negotiate 20% of that housing that's going to be built for affordable housing in exchange for tax credits. They do it all across this country, county and cities. They negotiate because you're in that position to negotiate. You negotiate, say, yeah, we'll approve your development, but you got to give us a percentage in affordable housing for tax credit. The developer is going to come out ahead, folks, okay? That's not going to hurt them. Our city did not do that. And you need to ask the question why they did not. You need to show up, as Jackie said, to these meetings and ask, why didn't you negotiate affordable housing and this development that you approved when the city is landlocked? There's rapidly running out of space to do those type of developments. To help and let me tell you what will happen.
Yep.
Hilton Head Island, Vail, Colorado. They bus people in for the service jobs, the $3 and change an hour for waiters and waitresses because tips will make the difference up. The people who make $7.25 an hour, service workers, the essential workers that everybody loved during the pandemic, will have you living in Williamsburg County. Williamsburg, not Horry, because it's too expensive to live in Horry too. You will be in Williamsburg County off your family land, and you will be bussed in to work as a service worker or essential worker. And these are the hospital workers, teachers, law enforcement, housekeepers, hotel workers, the essential workers that could not stop working during the pandemic. The essential workers who were adversely impacted by death because of COVID.
Right,
Not
definitely.
The people who retired, who could stay at home and get away from the pandemic. Not the people who work in technology, who could work from home and get away from the pandemic. But the essential workers that drive our economy in Georgetown, they are pushing you out. And you need to go to your county council meeting, and you know to go to city council meeting, and you need to ask them why, and you need to have transparency and expose these decisions that these people are making. And it doesn't matter who they are, friend, foe.
That's it.
We're screwing local residents over because none of these projects that are being that are being pushed forward are going to benefit local residents. They're saying, it's going to expand the tax base. But if you're not living here, you ain't part of that tax base, y'all. They're about to push y'all out.
Exactly.
And you do this by getting knowledge. Diane Bradley, happening in your neighborhood. Yeah, it happened. If you sit there and let them say, well, it's not going to happen in Georgetown, what happened in Hilton Head, every decision they're making, the consequence, intentional or not, going to make that happen. because they are
Is heading in that direction.
on local residents. They focus on bringing people in.
Mm-hmm.
$1 million, we're gonna build condos. Please tell me, if you can't afford a single family home in Georgetown, how are you going to afford a condo? Condos
Exactly.
not on a wetlands overlooking water. That's not being built for local residents.
Nope. And the only jobs that's going to come out of that is going to be the same $7-8 an hour jobs that, that just, is not livable wage type of jobs. And then, and then we already know the story. It'll be the whole boasting about, oh, we created so many jobs. Yeah. No, we need creation of good jobs. That's jobs right. That will help families to be able to level up. We don't need the same kind of jobs, just for the sake of saying, oh, we created jobs. Because, it is ridiculous that people still have to work 3 jobs, sometimes more than that, just to try to make ends meet. And then, be victimized as a result of the fact that they are overworked, underpaid, and, and then underrepresented. That is not good.
And they are going to present these projects as if they're the only option to move this city forward or county forward. And that is simply not true. There are options, folks, but they choose not to take those options, or they don't have the imagination to think of those options. So this is why you must hold your elected officials accountable, show up in public comments and talk, and peel back the onion layers and expose their foolishness. And I just wanted to say that to folks. And y'all, Jackie had to pop out, but you have any questions? I see a couple of comments before we leave. Let me pop them up. Listening to y'all from Texas, far away, but the issues discussed are the same all over the country. Mary Ellen Fine, that is certainly true. It is true. And that's what we encourage people. We're talking about Georgetown because we're in Georgetown, but it is all over the country, folks. And that's why it's important not just to vote, but to become engaged and knowledgeable citizens, because they want to keep us ignorant so we don't ask the questions and demand transparency and accountability and stop these projects if they're not for the majority of the people. I love and am inspired by your passion for what's right for your community. Thank you, Mary Ellen. All of us are very passionate about it. May all the forces of love, strength, and good be with you. Really appreciate that, Mary Ellen. And we've got a really good audience, so thank you all for tuning in. And then Simone, the community needs to come together as a whole. We certainly do, Simone, need to come together. But you know something, when Martin Luther King was assassinated, only 13% of Black churches supported him at the time. And he was very much hated in his country because he came out for the Poor People's Campaign. He demanded and said the check is due. And he was demanding accountability from our economic system. And they couldn't have that. So we can't wait for the community to come together. We come together as we do the work. Everybody ain't gonna finish this journey with us, but we got to come together to make the journey happen. So thank you, Simone, for your words also. Jackie, you're muted, and I'm gonna let you wrap up because we over 12. You know, when we get
okay,
we be going, girl. So I really got to go, y'all. I got a family waiting today, and I got to go and take
okay, I'm done. I thought it was a great show, very informative, and get ready to tune in next week as we drop some more information. And we do drop information all throughout the week as things develop. So if you watch the different Facebook pages, the Gullah Geechee Chamber page, Marilyn's page, my page, Marvin, NAACP, you can go anywhere on any one of those pages and see updated information as things come in that we feel community needs to be made abreast of. So just keep watching.
Yep.
And join in. Come on, get in the fight. Get in the fight.
Right. That's right. So y'all keep on watching the websites, Facebook pages, YouTube, all that, because we're constantly dropping this information and letting people know what's going on. Thanks, Jackie. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And folks, we out of here. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.